Alright, hello everybody, welcome to DKR 64 Races. Tonight, we are having a 100% race between Morks and Zoja. Both players are ready, so we're going to get started here really shortly. I'm going to let them get readied up, but my name is Andy Bundy. I'm going to be your commentator for today's race. Ready, and I will get them started. Okay. All right. I will get this moving. All right, both players are off. And our first track is Ancient Lake. And according to Patty in the chat, Morks just got the IL record on Ancient Lake, so let's see some crazy strats here in the hover percent. Hover is probably, for me, one of my less used vehicles. But I'm also looking at. So, Patty, what was the record for that track? Because according to the spreadsheet that Nettie has, looks like Zoja more. 46.56 was what he had before. I didn't see what he got for that. 38. Oh dang. And Zoja finishing off with a 58.45, and both heading off to Fossil Canyon. Fantastic, and both players doing really great, solid starts. And moving on, Fossil Canyon, we've got a 15.93 from Morks and 27. 115 and 127 from Zoja. Oh, right. Thanks, Patty. I have it ducking, but apparently it didn't go hard enough. Probably because it's not ducking for me, it's doing it through Discord. That should be better. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Morks is at lap 3. Zoja heading to lap 2. Perfect. Let's see how both players, how much of a different dynamic there is between the two. And Morks finishing with a 114. Heading into Jungle Falls as Zoja's finishing up their last lap in Fossil Canyon. Both players probably, I think both of them have done races already so far in this tournament. Let me see if I can pull up what they've done already. Oh, this is that. Okay. I love data. And I missed what Zoja finished with, but he's heading to Jungle Falls, where Morks has a 53.39 in Jungle Falls, where Zoja has a 1:8.54. Thanks to Nettie for the clip. He posted this in Discord a while back, and I'm just kind of looking. It might be out of date at this point. Anyway, heading up with a 23.70 for Zoja's first lap in Jungle Falls, as Morks is heading into Hot Top Volcano. Fantastic. Let's see some hype in the chat. Who we got in here? We've got great players. We've got a great chat. We've got some great competition. And let's see, Zoja is gonna be heading into a 106, maybe 7? 107. There you go. Woo! Okay. And with that, Zoja heads into Hot Tub Volcano. Solid movement from Mork, staying on the side instead of heading into the lava. Heading for the balloons. And getting a 25.88 for the second lap. And Zoja heading into the lava, hitting a little bit of a bump there. Send him back a little bit. But he heads over and gets the blue balloon, well, the first one. Misses the second one, but heads on to finish with a 35.88 for the first lap. And Mork's finishing with a 126 on Hot Top, heading into Treasure Caves. Treasure Caves here. Missing the first zipper and heading straight for the bananas. Mork's building up that potassium so he can go fast. Ooh, Zoja missing, bonking a little bit. Speeding tickets mean nothing. Right, Drac. Alright. Oh, an 1873 from Mork's for the first lap. Nice and speedy. Hover is murder on your hands. You're doing the swerve back and left and right. You're doing that the entire race. The entire race. And Mork's finishing Treasure Caves with a 50.79, it looked like. And a 145 in Hot Top from Zoja. And with that, Zoja is heading into Treasure Caves as Mork's heads into Crescent Island. Mork's heading on the right side first, picking up those extra bananas. With that, Zoja heading into the final turn of lap 1 of Treasure Caves. Finishing first lap with a 24.16. And a 29.41 in Crescent Island by Mork's. Ooh, and Mork's missing that first zipper. Heading up. Great thing about Crescent Island in hover is that you do not have to go through that plane. Through that boat ship thing, that you can just go right around it. It's fantastic. Alright, and Zoja finishing up third lap of Treasure Caves, ending up with a time of 103.83. And Mork's turning the corner on the last lap of the boat, heading in to finish with a 121.74 as Zoja starts Crescent Island. Mork's heading into Pirate Lagoon, one of the hover-only game courses in this game. Ones you won't see in plane percent or car percent. Starting off really strong, hitting those boosts and chaining them up. And Zoja turning the corner on the end of first lap, heading with a 30.10. And Mork's finishing with a 19.35 on his first lap. Both players are rocking it today. And I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of sound effect in here. Okay. All right. And Zoja finishing up, starting final lap of Crescent Island. As Mork's is finishing the last lap of Pirate Lagoon, finishing with a 56, heading into Whale Bay. Whale Bay being another one of those hover-onlys that you won't see in car, or plane percent. Alright. And Zoja finishing with a 128 on Crescent Island, heading into Pirate Lagoon. Meanwhile, back at Whale Bay, Morks hits that last blue balloon, finishing first lap with a 1976. Zoja also doing well, getting the balloons and such. Those tracks would be very interesting in playing for sure, Patty. Let me make sure everything is okay. We're good. All right, 23:58 for Zoja's first lap in Pirate Lagoon, and Morks finishing with a 51:04. In Whale Bay, heading into Everfrost Peak. Let me see. For Everfrost Peak is right over the play button, of course it is. No, it's not. 117 according to this playlist, or according to the spreadsheet, is what Morks has normally for Everfrost Peak. And for Pirate Lagoon, Zoja usually goes for a 115.70 and gets sniped by Drumstick, it looked like. Still doing really great, finishing off with a 114.96 it looked like, heading into Whale Bay. Alright. And Morks flying over the jump in Everfrost Peak, heading with a 25.23 into lap 3. And with that, back at Whale Bay, Zoja is missing the final blue balloon, but swerving, ending up the first lap with a 21.86. And going fast, Morks is heading into the end of lap 3 of Everfrost Peak. And I missed what he had. Let's look and see. I have a little bit of a delay too. It is 116.90 it looks like. Perfect. And with that, Morks is heading into Walrus Cove, which his normal time, or his last time, was a 137.23 according to the spreadsheet. And Zoja finishing lap 3 with a 103.89 it looked like, heading into Everfrost Peak. And Morks rounding the corner on the last lap of Walrus Cove, ending with a 33.23 on the first lap. Both players are doing an excellent job and working on... Now, as I said, hover is very intense on your hands, so that's something I'm imagining. We're probably getting close to the halfway point of this run, and I imagine both of them are probably getting a little tired. And a 29.96 at the end of the second lap for Morks. Oh, and I missed. Okay, a 33.75 for Zoja in first lap of Everfrost Peak. All right, finishing the next lap, 29.85 end of second lap for Zoja, and for Morks ending Walrus Cove with a 136 or a very high 135. I think it switched to 136 before I switched over. And with that, Morks is heading into Snowball Valley. Snowball Valley, Morks' time on here is a 49.54. Looks like it's his PB for the tournament. And Zoja heading into lap 3, finishing with a 136.42. Morks flying through the Valley of Snowballs and ending second lap with a 14.23. And with that, Zoja is heading into Walrus Cove. I missed the end time for Everfrost. Meanwhile, Morks is finishing with a 46.92 in Snowball Valley, heading into Frosty Village. Zoja struggling a little bit with the zippers, but getting the little boost from the blue balloon. Trying very hard not to lose the momentum in the race. Now Walrus Cove, the great thing about being in hover, you don't have to bounce. But finishing first lap, Zoja ends up with a 40.03. Heading into lap 2. Meanwhile, Morks is down in Frosty Village, heading into the actual village, heading out of it actually at this point. Hitting the zipper, doesn't go through the waterfall, but ends lap 1 with a 33.98. And get a little bit of snow. Trying to figure out how to fill time because not really. Oh wait, Mork's heading with a double zipper. No, Zoja's PB is 36.11 because he just verified it. Fantastic. So 36.11. So we'll go hoping for a PB for this next run. That'll be fantastic. Shout outs to Patty in the chat for that info. And let's see, Frosty Village. Morks is going, his IL PB for the tourney is 129.13. I think might get a little bit under this. 154 for Zoja in Walrus Cove. Meanwhile, Morks ends up with a 131 in Frosty Village, heading down into Haunted Woods as Zoja heads into Snowball Valley. Great track. Great tracks, both of them. Snowball Valley, you got the multiple ways to head in there, whether you're taking the time trials, grabbing the bananas, or you're heading left and just going for the blue balloon boosts. Haunted Woods, we're heading in, I think it's past Halloween season at this point. However, we still got Ghost left behind. I missed what Morks' first lap was, but second lap ends up getting an 18:21. Alright, and heading into the end of lap 3, Morks is heading in with a... Ooh, missed that. Let me check the... One even for Snowball Valley for Zoja with a 56 from Morks in Haunted Woods. And with that, Morks is heading into Windmill Plains as Zoja is heading into Frosty Village. Ooh, Morks getting sniped by either Drumstick or Crunch, losing some of those bananas. And Zoja grabbing the bananas and heading into the Frosty Village. Heading to the right, grabbing those zippers, gets one, gets two, misses the third because of the jump. And Morks heading into the final turn of Windmill Plains, finishing first lap with a 38.18. Meanwhile, Zoja is going for the Frosty Village shortcut? And he gets it. 51.61 for that first lap. And Morks finishing lap 2 with a 32.10. And Zoja heading back for the shortcut for lap 2. Morks blasting along in Windmill Plains. And Morks finishing Windmill Plains with a 142.29. heading into Greenwood Village. And a 148.71 from Zoja in Frosty Village. With that, Zoja is heading into Haunted Woods. Morks is heading through the forest in Greenwood Village. Grabbing the speed, having about 7, now 8 bananas, ending first lap with 29.25. Zoja heading to the last bit of Haunted Woods up the zipper and ends first lap with a 24.25. Morks narrowly avoiding the oil slick, heading in to the end of the second lap. Second lap of a 26.85. Meanwhile, Zoja with a 21.18 at the end of lap 2. Morks hovering through the forest again in Greenwood Village. And Zoja avoiding the Ghost Pigs, ending with a 106.11 in Haunted Woods, heading into the next level. Heading into Windmill Plains. Morks finishing Greenwood with a 124, heading into Boulder Canyon. Meanwhile, Zoja is heading into Windmill Plains. Morks at Boulder Canyon, another one of the hover-only courses of this game. You won't see this one also in car or plane percent matches. Morks getting some big air with the blue balloons and zippers. Meanwhile, Zoja is heading into the valley section of Windmill Plains. Grabbing all the bananas he can, has 9 at this point, heading into the last corner, gets that final 10th and extra 11th, ends first lap with a 43.28. And a 25.58 at the end of second lap for Morks, heading into his final lap. Zoja taking into the water over by the waterfall in Windmill Plains and missing that blue balloon. Doing a great job avoiding the oil slicks as well. I heard Morks hitting the little bell over in the Boulder Canyon Castle and ending lap 3 with a 120.14. Zoja heading into the last lap of Windmill Plains as Morks heads into Space Dust Alley. Hitting a nice zipper in Space Dust Alley and grabbing the zipper and getting a really nice boost. And Zoja finishing up the Windmill Plains with a 158 heading into Greenwood Village. Morks finishing lap 1 with a 34.81 in Space Dust Alley. Space Dust being 143.9. Oh, actually, no, that's the finals. I don't have lap records on here. Mabby. Alright. Heading into Greenwood Village. Zoja grabbing all of the bananas, but grabbing a bit of a boost and getting some air, losing that momentum. Alright, Morks going for that last lap zipper, heading into 30.56 for a second lap. Zoja with a 35.15 at the end of the first lap of Greenwood Village. Ooh, Morks hitting really hard the wall, getting a little bit of a bonk there. Grabbing the balloon though, Morks heads into the lower section of Space Dust Alley, avoids the bridge. Getting close to the end of Space Dust Alley, Morks bonks into the pillars and zooms into a 141.73 for the end of Space Dust Alley. And with that, Morks heads into Dark Moon Caverns as Zoja is finishing the third lap. Or starting the third lap of Greenwood Village. Alright. Zoja picking up speed over at the end of Greenwood Village. Looks like Zoja's ending up with a 140.35, which is about the same as his tourney best so far, heading into Boulder Canyon. Morks over in the loop-de-loops, heading into the end of first lap with a 38.48. Alright, Zoja heading into the castle in Boulder Canyon, getting a nice little chain there from the zipper into the balloon. Morks heading into the loops again at near the end of lap 2. Heading to the left side, which is not something we normally see. With usually you head to the right side. And the second lap, 36.85 it looked like for Morks heading into the final lap of Dark Moon Caverns. Zoja heading into the castle for lap 2 of Boulder Canyon. Alright, at the start of lap 3, ends lap 2 with 29.65 for Zoja. Meanwhile, Morks is heading into the last bit of Dark Moon, ends with a 152, which is not an IL tourney best, but still not a bad time. With that, Morks heads into Star City. Got ourselves some supersonic racing going on here. And Zoja ends Boulder Canyon with a fantastic 135 and heads into Space Dust Alley. Meanwhile, Morks is over navigating the Star City, getting those big bananas, and ending that first lap with a 33.05. Zoja opting to not go for the zippers in the shooting range room. Heading under the bridge, we're getting some extra bananas in that first lap from Zoja. And Morks finishing lap 2 with a lap 2 time of 30.83. Alright, now Morks is navigating his final time through the Star City, ending Star City with a 135.09, heading into Spaceport Alpha. Meanwhile, Zoja is finishing his second lap of Space Dust Alley, heading into lap 3. Grabbing those zippers, getting a little bit of a speed boost, but losing momentum on the turn. Morks going for the hover shortcut. And it looks like he got it. For that first lap at least. Alright. And Zoja heading into the end of Space Dust Alley, ending with a 2:02.60. With that, Zoja heading into Dark Moon Caverns. And with Zoja heading into Dark Moon, getting the red boost, but we're doing great. Mork has a decent chance for a PB. Heading into the next lap of... heading into the final lap of Spaceport Alpha. And a 36:11 was his PB for Hover. So yeah, if he gets this, if he gets a great shortcut, definitely. All right, with that, Zoja heading into the end of lap 1 with a 46:35. And Morks finishing with a 29:51. GG's for Morks. Meanwhile, Zoja off in Dark Moon Caverns, getting a little bit of a bumpy ride over in Dark Moon. Heading into the loop-de-loops. Hello. Just hearing an echo, I didn't know where it came from. Ah, that's why. Okay. All right. Could we see a double PB on here? All right. And with that, Zoja finishes, or heading into the end of Dark Moon. Ends with a 2:12. And with that, he heads over to Star City. I do have to give kudos to both players. Doing great with the menuing. With it being Hover, it's a lot more involved. A lot less default tracks. Alright, Zoja heading into the city in Star City. First lap. Doing a great job. Got the 10 bananas in Star City. And lap 1 with a 38.80. Heading into lap 2. Alright, Zoja heading back into the city for lap 2. Navigating perfectly through the city. Doing a little bit of some of the swerves there. Heading in with a 35.10 at the end of heading into lap 3. Expertly going up the bridge into Star City. Alright, zooming up that last hill. Zoja heading into the end of lap 3, ending with a 148.45 it looked like. With that, Zoja is heading into Spaceport Alpha. Alright, Zoja heading into Spaceport Alpha, grabbing some bananas to start. Going through the vent, trying not to look sus. And then heading into the shooty shoot room. Grabbing the blue balloons, going fast. And zooming at the speed of light. Needs a 246 here to PB. which I believe is totally doable. Ending first lap with a 39.83. Alright, Zoja heading into the vent once more. Bonking a little bit, but not stopping him too much. After that, heading into the laser room, grabbing the first balloon. Grabs a second. Zooms on. Expert. Heading into the last bend. Turning around. Going. Second lap, we have a 36.23. Final lap of Spaceport Alpha. Ooh. Hits the oil slick, loses a couple of bananas. Luckily he has enough that it's not going to affect him too much. Jumps back into the vent. And then jumps into the laser room. Grabs the first balloon. Grabs a second. Bonks a little bit, but still going strong. Alright. Zoja ending Spaceport Alpha with a 1:53, ending time with a 35:19. GG's to both players, and let's see if we can get them in here for an interview. So, hey Morks, how are we doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing fantastic. So PB, we got a double PB in here.
Yeah, we got a double. Congratulations, Zojalix.
Yeah, I did not expect to get my first 35 like that. Holy crap.
Good stuff, man.
That's fantastic.
Like, I came out of Dino Domain and I was like, nah, this isn't happening. My Dino Domain was so bad. And then when I looked over at my timer when I hit third lap on SPA, I'm like, wait, not only am I gonna 35, I'm gonna low 35. What?
Let's go.
That's fantastic. And both you guys had really solid gameplay. What would one thing that you would like to improve from this?
Not getting destroyed by the computers.
Computers, all right. Morks, how about you, Zoja?
For me, it's just still just getting used to not missing zippers and realizing that they're a lot more precise than they actually look.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if I can just keep getting zippers and not missing zippers and not missing balloons, like those are a lot of the things that I was getting kind of frustrated with, were how many of those I was missing. But I mean, I'll have to watch the VOD over and retime and see what areas specifically I lost time on, because I don't race with splits, so I don't focus on.
Gotcha. So, have you guys done races already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
right,
it's been my fourth.
The fourth one. So you've got a couple of them ahead. What are you? How do you guys feel you guys are doing, team-wise?
Question, to be honest, I there's no scoreboard somewhere where I can see the score of everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
That would be good, because I know that some of my peeps, let's say Sweener or BBK, are playing on their own, but I'm not following their schedule, so I'm not sure exactly what's happening on their end. But
Right, in the same way. I know Chloral is carrying my team, but although I don't actually know how Drac has been doing in his races, so it would be nice to see how my other teammates are doing. I just know I'm the weakest one.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you guys want to... Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Patty just shared the document that gives all the points from every team, so that
Perfect.
that's okay. I can look it up.
Cool.
I'm not stalling for time at all. Is there anything that you guys want to add, closing remarks, or anything like that?
Yes.
Eventually, I will learn that this game is not Mario Kart.
Especially in Hover, it's not the same thing, yeah. But basically, I mean, I guess this is a call-out. Dalarban, Joe, pretty much everyone that have 29s right now, I'm gonna bop you all. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm aiming for I'm aiming for a low 29 with the practice that I've done off stream. I'm been practicing a couple levels. Basically, as soon as I suck in a level, I just practice it to see if I can, destroy it. And yeah, that's what I'm going for this week. Of course, with all the other races coming.
All right, Zoja.
I mean, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy watching my gameplay. It's been awesome to see how much I've improved. Starting like my first race, I think I had a 36.53 or something like that, and so to be down to a low 35 after the course of these races, I'm beside myself on how happy I am with that. And honestly, it's not even the improvement that's making me have this mindset, but like before the race and during the race, I'm like, okay, every single tournament that I've done, not only have I not won a match, but I've also gotten destroyed. I think I need to just sit down, play a crap ton of DKR, and do better in tournaments. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of DKR from me for a while.
Amazing.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to it. So I think that's actually the end of the races for today. Tomorrow we have 3 races according to the schedule. We have Bandau and Nettie, Bandau and Sweeter, and Brandino and Andy Panther. So look forward to that. The schedule, you can, I think the, you can use...
I thought I had a race tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I thought I had.
It might not be on the calendar yet. But,
maybe so. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
That could be. But yeah, stay tuned to that. Be sure to follow the DKR 64 races Twitch channel to stay updated, and we will see you later.
See you, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.